interwebs.
We're back for one final show. The end of All Biscuits. Once we get the thing pulled back up, because time and space. Alright. Saving the...
So this is our ramble video.
Yes. Because it starts off... Do you want to say who this is from?
Mm-mm.
Hmm?
Hmm?
Do you want to say who this is from?
This is from Four Fingered Knife Hand / William.
Slash. No. Please present the impenetrable stance of why Daniel Jackson is the most overrated character in the Stargate universe. And I will say right now, he was barely in Stargate universe.
So I'm going to go with, in the whole Stargate franchise universe.
I know what he meant. I was just
being a dick.
A little.
But you have such a nice dick. It's okay.
See what I have to deal with?
See what I have to deal with?
Anyway.
I will absolutely not take that stance because Daniel Jackson is everything about the whole Stargate universe.
Yeah, I mean, none of it ever happens without him, really.
Word! Okay, so, beginning from, the movie, the whole thing wouldn't have happened if Daniel wasn't there. If he hadn't met Sharae. Hang on. Hydration. Always good.
Yes.
Yeah, so if Daniel wasn't there, one, they never would have figured, or eventually maybe, but they wouldn't have figured out how to work the Stargate. If he hadn't gone on the first mission, they never would have figured out how to get home. If he hadn't met Sharae, they never would have figured out the symbol for that planet. If, when the Stargate series started and Jack sent the tissue box through, if Daniel hadn't been there, they would have just sent a nuke and been done, and then buried the whole program, and then the whole thing would never have happened. So...
Which, that didn't last very long through the series. They stopped caring about him having allergies like episode 3.
No. Because what happened was Janet started prescribing him, what was the episode about the Great Divide?
Yeah.
Antihistamines.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that she, because he was always allergies, blah blah blah, in the first episode, and in the movie, is that she started prescribing him strong antihistamines, which is why he didn't, continue to every planet they went to. Right? Okay. So
You know who the most overrated character in the Stargate franchise is? Rodney. Because he overrates himself.
Okay, but except for the one time he blew up a solar system.
But
Rodney,
you blow up one sun.
everything is you can walk on water. Except for that one time, Rodney pulls fucking through. Despite the fact that he's who would be the greater loss? Oh, you're right, you should go. He's especially, more in Atlantis than earlier episodes, because he's Samantha, you're crazy. This isn't gonna work. You're hot, but whatever. It's the typical, Tumblr fuckboy. Oh yeah, you're a beautiful blonde goddess and you're hot. And it's, cute that you have... I hate Rodney in the SG-1 universe. But once he gets to Atlantis, he's, more lovable. So yes, he's. Oh fuck! Is this lemon chicken? But you know what? No. With being under Elizabeth and influence from Taylor and having what's her tits in his brain, Lieutenant what?
I can't remember. I just every time you say that.
What's her tits?
Yes.
Fuck. What was the name of the?
I can't remember right now. My brain is still on Crab Song.
Yeah. I mean, so he learned a lot from her and his relationship with in the plant department.
The biologist.
Yes, the biologist.
I can't remember her name either.
Yeah, I mean, plus
I've watched a lot of Stargate since I watched.
I mean, and the thing is like that, like his relationship with Doctor.
Why can't I remember any of their damn names now?
My brain.
That guy who died and then was alive again because
he's Scottish.
replicators. I got nothing.
And his relationship with John, like he gets these interpersonal relationships and grows from them. From
Carson Beckett.
Beckett. His friendship with Beckett, and he grows from that. And really, from John specifically. I mean, like, when he loses all his memories, or essentially gets, like, dementia, when he's like, John, I need you, I mean, like the relationship he has with John, with Ronan, Taylor, like, his whole team really lets Rodney grow, as a person outside of just being, like, I'm the smartest fucking scientist. Especially the episode with his sister where he can't figure it out and she has to help him. Like... So yeah, really unneeded characters in Stargate.
Are overrated?
Like what are some unnecessary, like they could have just...
They could have just not? I mean, I can think of a lot of characters.
What was the original question?
The original question was, please present the impenetrable stance of why Daniel Jackson is the most overrated character in the Stargate universe.
Overrated characters, that was it.
Yeah.
What's an overrated character? Who is an overrated character?
I mean, if I'm gonna talk about overrated characters, like, it's hard to say because, like, I don't feel like from an outside perspective, any of the characters are overrated.
Like characters that maybe other people like that you didn't.
I don't know. I mean, I could say the guy who built a Stargate in Sam's basement just to make you upset.
Fuck you. No. He was a complete... Nolan was a... Nolan?
Nolan? Nolan?
Nolan?
I got nothing. Oh, my brain is so fried right now.
I'm drunk and high. We're going with Nolan.
He's
not an overrated character. Like, he played a part in, like, the original Stargate with, like, and additionally to the new team, he was crucial in overthrowing the Ori.
Okay, no, you know what? You know who's overrated? Inara. What was her fucking name with the Ori? See, I'm telling you, I should know all this. I do know all this. It's just locked behind booze and sleep deprivation.
Orsai. She was the Orsai.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna name you after my mother. You talk about why she's overrated, and I'll come up with her name.
People let Morena Baccarin influence them with the character because by the time you get to the Ori and all of that, and it's just... I'm going to say something you're not going to like.
Hang on. I've got to Google.
That's fine, you do that. But SG-1, by that stage, had kind of jumped the shark.
Jumped the shark?
Okay. This is a television history lesson. Had you ever watched Happy Days, or do you know what it is?
I feel like I've heard the name.
Okay, it was a TV show in the 60s.
Day, so happy day.
Not that. Definitely not that. Had the Fonz. Do you know who that is? Arthur Fonzarelli.
The Fonz? Isn't that a Muppet?
It's Gonzo.
Isn't there a Fonz? Fonzo, Gonzo? Alright, that's fair. Who's the Fonz?
He was the stereotypical cool guy. And he had a leather jacket, and he would walk into the diner and hit the jukebox, and it would play a song because he was that cool. Suffice to say, the show ran for quite a while, and it was about like a small group of people in a town in the 50s. Like, that's what it was about. But by the time the show had ran for so long, they just had to keep doing more and more stuff to up the stakes or whatever. And
Adria.
Yeah, Adria.
Okay.
But
I totally didn't hear anything you just said for the last
whatever.
5 minutes.
Later on in the series, the Fonz is water skiing and does a ski jump thing over a shark, which is just utterly and completely pointless to the show's premise itself.
What show?
Happy Days. And the point of the whole thing is that it became a cliche or a nomenclature or whatever for a show that kind of went too far past its prime thing. Like, if you were having to resort to having one of your characters ski jump over a shark, then you've gone too much. And I feel like the Ori were that for SG-1. Like, I feel like at that point they had, because you have to keep escalating things to make it seem like the threat is still real. Because if you go from, Apophis to the entirety of the Gold to something like Bale.
Ball.
I love you.
His name is Ball.
I know it is.
Bale. Fuck you.
But anyway, you go to that, you have an ascended Goa'uld, and then you have the replicators and all of that. Things keep getting more and more challenging. They have to keep meeting threats that are bigger and bigger. Because if you regress, if you go back to, oh yeah, it's just some dudes in some spaceships that can fire lasers, who cares? We're aware that SG-1 can beat these guys. We know that already. It has to be a bigger threat. And this
than just the Lucian Alliance, who have more or less ships than the Goa'uld did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just seems silly that's a threat at that point, because we know they've defeated a bigger threat or an equal threat.
Except that the Ori have technology that was known by the ancients,
right?
which
This is
was
what
above what the Goa'uld
Right.
had.
This is what I'm saying. Is in order for it to feel like a threat, they have to keep escalating. And I feel like by the time they got to the Ori, they had escalated and escalated and escalated so much that basically I'm saying the Ori themselves are overrated. Because by that point, I couldn't invest myself in it enough to really care. And also, other things that have happened in the show contributed to that because I did not care for certain people as much as I did about the original team of SG-1. Although Claudia Black is always, Claudia Black.
That's I mean, like, I'll give you that to a point. Like, once, Jack had not retired, he'd gone to the homeworld defense,
Mm-hmm.
and they had
But yeah,
Mitchell,
Mitchell.
right? And like, I feel like Mitchell and Shepard are so fucking close to the same, but I feel like Mitchell did a good job incorporating into the team. But like, I remember at some point there was like a homeworld conference about how it was, maybe Kenzie or they're like when the Ori first became a problem, when Daniel went and was there and they came back, and he was like, oh wow, and they're like, oh, you've defeated the Goa'uld, and that's not now there's this new threat, like, that's how they played it,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like maybe the writing team stretched it with they're like, we need to come up with a new threat,
Mm-hmm.
and it has to be better than the Goa'uld, and what's better is the ancients, and
Yeah.
and I feel like that part, but I feel like given that so many people, including myself, wanted additional seasons.
Yes, because the characters, that's what it was about for us watching it, is watching the characters interact. Watching Teal'c learn things, and then, like, Christopher Judge is fucking hilarious. Like I would put him on.
One of my favorite Atlantis episodes is him and Ronan.
Oh, yeah, I can't imagine why that's one of your favorite episodes.
Especially, like, not even just when they meet and Ronan's all like, fuck this shit, but like, especially like when they then save the SGC together. He's like, indeed, you say that a lot. Did I?
Like, no one had ever pointed out
died. I died. Whatever point. You say that a lot. Do I?
You know what's underrated? Window of Opportunity.
I'm bad at episode names. Which one is that? Is that the repeat one?
Uh-huh.
I don't know that. I feel like that is a typical fan favorite.
And it's still underrated. It could be the top voted in everything. 3 fries short of a Happy Meal. Wacko!
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't see you. You have said that many times. Or the time where Teal'c was just like straight up like, boom! Fuck that.
Yeah.
Yes, the time loop episode.
In the middle of my backswing? And it is so
Daniel,
great.
guys, it's really important that you learn this and pay attention. Just
10,000 hours to master a skill, so how long did he spend sitting there juggling while Daniel was talking?
Well, you've been eating oatmeal for
Fruit Loops.
Nice alternative.
Yeah.
Sam, what? Nothing. Just oatmeal.
That was a big spoon for oatmeal, too. No.
I love that Sam only ever eats blue Jell-O.
And that's the other thing. The little character ticks and
yeah, that you never notice unless you're like, is that she always eats blue Jell-O.
Yeah. I will give William this. I will say Daniel does have a little bit of the Kyle Katarn problem for me.
Who's Kyle Katarn?
He's a Star Wars character.
Yeah,
I know you don't know him. But this is... He is sort of... Well, he goes... He's a Jedi. Like, he starts out learning and getting his lightsaber.
How is Daniel?
I'm getting there. And he learns to be a Jedi and everything. And then because he's a video game character and they make a sequel, well, he has to... We can't just start you at level 1 back where he was at the end of the last game as a powerful Jedi. So he gives up being a Jedi and goes back to just being a smuggler with a blaster. And then slowly reaccepts his role as a Jedi and gets more powerful again. And that bugs me on a lot of levels. But Daniel suffers from that a little bit with the whole ascension, de-ascension nonsense.
Which part?
Like...
Where, like, he occasionally has memories from his time as an ascended?
Sort of. You know, where he...
Or when he's half ascended and he helps the group to an extent.
Right, but then he gets, re-embodied and basically starts over.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now he's just back to being Season 1 Daniel Jackson again.
I wouldn't say Season 1.
I wouldn't either. He does grow. But it's the power level
back to,
thing.
Before whatever.
Right. Although, that's another really good episode, is the gold mind power thing, where the kid teaches him the only way to win is not to play.
Oh yeah, what was the one? Yeah, like
I can't remember the name of the episode.
Who gave him?
It was the kid.
That vision, was it the kid?
Yeah.
What was his? Shari's kid. What do they call him?
Again, my brain is fried. This might be a long video.
That's fine, but yeah, basically, yeah. When the kid gave him the vision of like what would happen if he had all of the knowledge of the Goa'uld.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that knowledge,
which the kid has because of
genetic memory from 2 Goa'uld parents, but because they're not just symbiotic, because they're the Goa'uld who use the sarcophagus and are inherently evil. It's not even, all of the knowledge of the Tok'ra. It's the Goa'uld knowledge, which is inherently evil, that slowly turned Daniel evil.
Yeah. Yeah, they war games him.
With I will say though, by the second or third time he comes back, where he's like, oh, I died. And they brought, where he came back, but he still had all his memories, in Jack's office. He's like, don't look, and he comes out in a flag, what did he died in a replicator facility or something? What was that time where he came back?
Pick one.
That's what I'm saying. So when he came back in Jack's office, where
I can't remember which instance
was it 2 or 3 times that he died and was reborn?
Yeah.
Or something. I will say that there's a little bit of okay, to how many times he died and came back. But if nothing else, Daniel's the eyebrow thing, it's necessary for the season. Where he does eyebrows, Jax, he's like I can't even. But no, Daniel is an essential character.
Yes. 100%. I think Booga's playing with Popcorn Kernel.
He's freaking out over there. Alright, but I'm pretty sure this is a fairly long video. So.
Okay. You got to listen to us rant for a while, Internet.
Stargate.
Holy crap.